Hi everyone, I'm Chris with the Sports Truth. The truth will set you free, and today we brought back Boltman.
I am Boltman, son of Zeus, brother of Hercules, here with Week 3 Power Rankings.
Woo!
Alright, starting off at number 10, the 49ers.
What?
I would call their situation a happy accident. Okay? I'm sure 49er fans were sad when Trey Lance broke his ankle.
Yeah.
And his tibula. Good job running them straight into the Seattle defense, Shanahan.
Good job.
Yeah.
To the Seahawks.
Your dad took out RG3 and you took out Trey Lance. Anyways, Jimmy G came in, wasn't too long before he threw a touchdown and he ran for one. He's very familiar with the offense. In a lot of ways, the 49ers are a better team. They were going to go through a roller coaster of up and downs. With Trey Lance having some good games and some bad games because this is truly his first year. With Jimmy G, you know what you're getting. There is a limit, a ceiling to his abilities, but they are in a good spot. And Jimmy G, they tried to get rid of him. They tried to trade him, and then they finally ended up
restructuring
his contract. Yeah, so he's got a chip on his shoulders, and good things are going to happen for them. All right. Number 9 is... Who do you think it is?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question.
It's your old team, the Cardinals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, great. It doesn't even matter, dude.
Kyler Murray. I've been watching the game for probably over 40 seasons. It is one of the greatest quarterback performances I have ever seen.
Yeah.
He had a 2-point conversion, which took 20 seconds. He scrambled in the backfield. When he found nobody open, he ran into the end zone because everybody had no idea where they were at. It's almost like there was a game that I used to play back in college. So what we would do is play drunk softball. Okay?
Oh, God.
We'd have a keg at the home run plate. And so when you got a hit, you had to drink a beer, right?
Right. So
afterwards, what we would do is we would spin around the bat several times and then go running. What ends up happening is that your equilibrium is completely off and you start running straight and then veer off. That's what everybody on the Raiders defense looked like. They looked like they took 15 to 20 trips around the bat and were running in different directions. Anyways, Kyler Murray, for the first half of the season, he is going to give you the best that he has. So I don't know how long they last in the top 10, and they got a big matchup this week against the Rams, who happen to own them, which leads me to number 8, the Super Bowl champs. You are the champs until you get knocked out. Okay? You have Sean McVay and resting for 10 days after an ass beating from the Bills. Okay? Bills are going to give everybody an ass beating. Okay? They gave the Titans an ass beating. And they are going to give the Dolphins one too, okay? This team is going to go like 15-2. When they decide that they want to shut it down, they will for the playoffs. So don't feel too bad, Sean McVay. But, and give it up to the Falcons. They do what they do best, right? They scare you.
Yes,
right?
I predicted it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Scare everyone.
Did I think the Rams were going to win? Yes. Did I think the Rams were going to cover 10 points? Hell no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So it got crazy there at the end, but they ended up winning. All right. Do you know who number 7 is? Any idea? No idea?
Tell me.
All right. Number 7 are the Giants, the G-Men.
No, this is Saquon.
This is a shout out to Nicole from work.
Oh.
Okay.
A Giants fan?
Huge Giants fan.
Oh, okay.
She's from New York, okay?
Ah.
So, yeah. So the Giants go as Saquon Barkley goes.
Yes, I'll Saquon.
But the Pied Piper, the leader of this group, is Brian Dable. Him going for it for the win instead of a 64-yard field goal like Nathaniel Hackett, because they're both offensive coordinators. They're both rookie head coaches. One played it safe, which isn't really playing it safe because a 64-yard field goal, what is that, like a 3%, 5% chance?
Yeah, even lower.
Yeah, probably even lower.
Yeah.
So, and the one thing that I like about the Giants, even though they've beaten the Titans, who are off to an 0-2 start, and even though they have beaten the Panthers, it came down to the last couple plays. So they won tight games.
Yeah.
So every game is decided by just a few points, as you could see in the first 2 weeks. So the fact that Dable was a closer, coffee is for closers, just like Glengarry, Glenn Ross, And these days, Brian Dable's drinking plenty of coffee. Probably not as much coffee as Dan Campbell, because he drinks triple venti espressos. But I'm sure he has his fair share of it. And you know what? I personally like the Giants. They're playing at home and against the Cowboys. And they have been the abused, and they will take care of the abuser. So I think everybody outside of Dallas is cheering for the Giants.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Number 6. Sorry, I am Boltman. I love the Chargers, but I had to kick you out of what is the VIP room. The VIP room is the top 5, okay? You had that game won against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Okay? Herbert outplayed Mahomes. Mahomes did not have the greatest game.
No.
All right? And I asked a hardcore Chargers fan named Matt Gucciani whose fault it was. I was getting ready to blame Staley because clearly Gerald Everett was raising his hand as if to say, Coach, take me out. I'm winded. Okay? But Lombardi is the offensive coordinator, and he called in the play. So, and you can see it. I mean, where Herbert places the ball is exactly where Gerald Everett was supposed to catch it, but he was winded and gassed and just half-ass ran the play. And that 99-yard touchdown, pick 6, very Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo does that type of shit. So, yeah, I'm tired of hearing in the past, the moral victories were nice for the Chargers, but I want to get away from that. I want to win games, no we almost won. Yeah. No. Like they say, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, Chargers, take care of business. I know that Herbert's got some bruised ribs or some cracked ribs or a punctured lung or something going on because...
Cartilage.
Yeah, some cartilage.
Yeah.
So please don't use that as an excuse to why you lose to the Jags. Now, the Jags are a scary team. They put up a battle with the Commanders, and then at the same time, they shut out the Colts 24-0. Now, they had won 7 straight in Jacksonville versus the Colts, but the way they dismantled them and shut them out, I'm telling you, Doug Peterson, he is a quarterback whisperer. He was whispering sweet nothings into Nick Foles until Nick Foles went all the way and won the Super Bowl and beat the GOAT.
Yep.
And now he's whispering sweet nothings to Trevor Lawrence, and you got to remember who Trevor Lawrence was. He looked like a bust last year. Bust because he had Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Who the NFL was not cut out for him.
No.
Yes. And their defense is really good. I mean, we got a game here. The point spread's high. I think Jacksonville covers the point spread, and the Chargers end up winning the game.
Yeah.
Now that goes all out the door. If I find out that Justin Herbert's not playing or playing very injured, then I'll take the Jags. Yeah. All right. Now we enter into the top 5.
The VIP room.
Whew. All right. At number 5, the Dolphins. Yeah, there we go.
The waddle.
Oh, my God. Everything was put in place for Tua. He had 469 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay? And I know most of those were thrown in the fourth quarter. But
still.
Yeah. When you have Tyreek Hill and you have Jalen Waddle, and I think Jalen Waddle scored a couple touchdowns, so I'm going to give him...
there you go. Do the waddle.
There
we go.
The waddle. Oh, my God. I can do that all day. Yes.
You could.
In fact, I think the prediction was if Waddle scored a touchdown that the Dolphins would win.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. And then behind all that, they got a good defense too, even though it got ripped apart by the Ravens. But it's not a detriment to them. But the glue that holds all this together is probably one of the coolest coaches to come on the scene Scene, not scene.
Yeah.
Jeez, I haven't even been drinking. Who knows? All right. I'm like drunk.
The coolest
French pilot Canadian.
Oh yeah,
I know that guy.
Yeah,
for sure. He was funny after his fourth drink and his funny little accent.
God.
But
who's the coach?
oh yes, thank you for bringing me back
Of course.
to reality.
Yeah.
Yes, Mike McDaniels. Okay,
you
the
go.
offensive coordinator, the protege of Kyle Shanahan. So I'm going to tell you who Mike McDaniels is. Okay, he is somebody who rallies the team, has personal relationships with his players, and he's smart. He's Kyle Shanahan without the ego. Okay. Yes, and so he's got a good thing going there. I think the Bills are a little too much for them, wouldn't you say?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It'll be closer though than past years.
Oh no, for sure.
It's not going to be a blowout.
It's not going to be a blowout.
There's no way.
I agree with that. But
It'll be a good one.
Yeah. Okay. So Dolphins. I mean, great on your 2-0 win or 2-0 start.
Yeah.
And that Tua is better than what was to be expected, especially with the wide receivers and the offensive linemen you got him, and Mike McDaniels running the 49er system, which confuses all defenses.
Pretty much.
But the first week you played a Patriots team that had no offense. It was Mac Jones and a bunch of no-name wide receivers, all right? And then the following week you played the Ravens, who have the worst pass defense the last 19 games. Okay, this goes back to last year.
Yeah.
And I mean, injuries was a part of it, but it's hard to believe too because you have Marcus Peters and you have some good safeties and corners. So I'm sort of confused as to why the Ravens are so bad on their pass defense. And it sucks for Lamar Jackson because usually when they lose, it comes down to Lamar Jackson being the reason that they lost. But it wasn't. I mean, Lamar Jackson who throws for a 75-yard touchdown and then runs for a 75-yard touchdown?
Lamar.
Nobody. Okay?
Lamar,
but
that's
Lamar Jackson.
That's
That is insane. So I think he had, I want to say, over 100 yards rushing and 300 yards passing. And
Yeah, he did.
it's a shame. It really is.
It
I
is.
mean, if I was Lamar Jackson, I would have bitched out my defense. Or just like, you know what, just looked over at them and been like,
Really? Yeah.
really? And
Really?
just walked out,
6 touchdowns
Yeah,
against it? Come
yeah.
on.
I mean, come on.
Let
Yeah.
Tua do that to you?
That is just wrong. All right, number 4. I told you the first week before the season even started
Yeah.
to watch out. Fly, Eagles, fly. Right?
Yeah, I told you the Eagles are good.
Yes, it is time to
well-rounded.
start believing in Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
all right,
really bad.
he had over 333 yards passing,
Yep.
rushed for 2 touchdowns.
Woo!
I mean, this guy is the best RPO quarterback in the league. All right, this guy's a second-round quarterback with first-round talent. I've talked to Philly fans, okay, last year, and I was pumping up Jalen Hurts. Oh my God, you guys have an exciting team. And every Eagles fan I talked to said, well, he's a running quarterback, and he sort of holds our team back.
Oh.
And even the football geeks and those who know the game were telling me the same thing. And then I
Except
talked
me.
to, well, yeah, the people that know what they're talking about have a different opinion. I talked to an Eagles fan at work named Hunter, and he said this is how it is with Eagle fans. He's like, half of them love the game and know what's going on, and the other half are just pissed off Philadelphians who don't know shit about football, and they just want to bitch and complain, East Coast style, much like the New York Giants or Bostonians or Philadelphians. So I'm pretty sure if the next Eagles fan I see, I'm going to ask them, hey, how's Jalen Hurts doing? And if they give me some bullshit excuse that like, well, maybe we'll use one of our first round draft picks, I'll say, you know what? Why don't you call the 49ers? I'm sure they'd be very interested in taking Jalen Hurts off your hands, and, maybe they could do some swap because he would fit perfect in that system.
RPO, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
All right. Moving on to number 3.
Yep.
Okay? It's the Bucks and Brady.
Of course.
All right?
It's that defense.
Yes.
100%.
So that defense is amazing. They held the Cowboys in Dallas, which is a tough place to play. As you can see, that they defeated the Bengals to 3 points. What is this? A soccer game?
Yeah.
A baseball game? It's supposed to be a football game. You're supposed to score touchdowns. You're supposed to go double digits.
Exactly.
Oh, so disappointing.
And then Saints too.
Finally, what's that?
And how the Saints too.
Yeah, and Brady had the demon
exercise.
Exercise. Exactly. He had that burden on his back, and it is gone. Would they win 20-10? So the defense held the Saints offense, which could be explosive at times. They scored 27 the previous week.
Yep.
They scored 10. And famous Jameis, eating his W's.
He ate his L.
Yeah, he ate a big fat L, okay? Throwing his interceptions. I saw the footage. He had people underneath that he could have dumped it to, but no. It was home run or nothing. And it was hilarious when Devin White said, he used to be my teammate. I remember when he threw 30 interceptions that year. So we were just going to drop back, intercept him, and, So, yeah, I mean, it goes both ways. Brady does what he does because he's the 7-time Super Bowl champion, GOAT, whatever accolades you want to give him. But he's in a bad spot. The interior of his offensive line has been decimated. And his wide receivers, Mike Evans, has this long feuding battle with Marshawn, exactly. And that cost, he's out of the game. Yep. Chris Godwin's out of the game due to injuries. Julio Jones, surprise, surprise, he's out of the game too as well. You're dealing with Scotty Miller. You're dealing with Perriman. You're dealing with players I've never even heard of, okay? And they pulled Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley.
Yeah, Cole Beasley, exactly. Like Mr. Beasley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, from that show a long time ago.
Don't worry though, Tom Brady will prove everyone wrong.
Yes, okay. That's why the Bucs are going to win this week because Brady has been dissed.
Yeah.
Saying he doesn't have wide receiver, he doesn't have offensive line, and then Rodgers is back on track. But let me tell you something about Rodgers, okay?
Yes.
Rodgers is terrible in Florida, okay? He's also terrible on the West Coast. I don't know what it is. He's a very mercurial type player.
Yes.
If the sun ain't right, if he didn't eat the breakfast, if he didn't take his mushrooms, if he didn't take his ayahuasca or whatever, and gets in a pissy mood, he takes his ball and wants to go home, okay? He's sort of a little whiny ass bitch, all right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. All right.
Number 1 or number 2?
Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2. It's the Chiefs, okay?
Go to the chop.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. You know how I feel about the Chiefs being Boltman, but I got to give them their respect, okay?
Yeah.
So, on his, the pelts that he's gotten, first, he took care of Kyler Murray, which you saw what he did the following week, and then he took out Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's beating 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks, all right?
Yeah.
The defense usually takes like half a season to kick in, but their defense is right there. You know,
already,
I mean, the defense held the Cardinals at their place to 21 points, and then the pick 6 by Watts on the Chiefs lets you know that that Mahomes is getting a lot of help. All right,
sure.
He's got Juju Smith-Schuster. He's got Scantling. He's got Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
He's got multiple options. So consider this, that the Chiefs had a bad game against the Chargers and they still won. They've had 10 days rest, okay? It's been 10 days since they played, all right?
Yeah.
So I think that they too will take care of business against the Colts, who tied the Texans.
And lost
24-0 to the Jags for the 8th time or 7th time in a row.
Oh my God.
What is going on over there? Your organism theory, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then,
100%.
all right, and then number 1, drum roll. You're going to be shocked on this one, okay?
The Bills.
The Bills! Oh my God.
I mean, why do you think the Bills are so good? Because they were made to defeat the Chiefs, who, by the way, you see the Chiefs are very powerful.
Oh yeah,
so you need to be more powerful.
Absolutely. I've seen this nuclear arms race, as they call it, or arms race.
Between the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they meet all the time.
Exactly, and they did a phenomenal job. And it's funny that they don't even need punt God because, like, why have a punter when you don't need to punt? You're either going to score, exactly,
or field goal.
Okay, so everybody, I've seen it on the other shows.
Yeah.
Has Josh Allen been phenomenal? Yes. I believe 4 touchdowns in the first game, and then another 4. A rushing touchdown. I mean, Stephon Diggs had 3 touchdowns on Monday night. Woo! Last year, I tell you, they would have lost to the Titans. Okay.
Yeah.
But this Bills team, instead of kicking it in halfway through the season or towards the end of the season, going into the playoffs, they started day 1. Yeah, it's amazing. And as much as I personally think that Josh Allen is the best dual threat quarterback in the NFL, which by
consideration of Lamar Jackson?
No, meaning that...
you think Lamar's not the best dual threat?
No, he's not, because his passing still needs some work.
Yeah.
And with Josh Allen, his passing is first, and then some of his designed runs, or if he feels the pressure, he'll get you that first down. Because he will push his hand in someone's face mask. He will throw 300-pound defensive linemen off his back.
Yeah.
They don't make them like Josh Allen.
No.
Yeah. So as much as I'm talking about Josh Allen, my whole freaking point is that give some love to the defense, okay?
Oh, yeah. The Bills defense.
Yes. They held the Rams, the Super Bowl champs, in their place during their coronation. Just took a big fat shit on their coronation day, okay? Yeah. To 10 points, and they won by 21.
Yep.
And then against the Titans, they allowed 7 points.
That's it.
Yeah, 41-7.
That's it.
Okay?
Bro.
I mean,
it's over.
That defense is unreal. There is no weakness from the back to the front. They started in the back because that is Sean McDermott's way of creating the defense.
Right.
And then their front has finally caught up with their back. You have Von Miller. You have Rousseau.
Yeah, Rousseau.
I mean, you have... And not only that, you have waves of defensive linemen. I believe they have like 8 legitimate... I mean, you have defensive linemen that would start on other teams, but because they're buying into the Bills' philosophy, then they send them in waves. So imagine just waves of defensive linemen coming after you. If you're able to get the ball off, you're probably going to throw it into tight coverage or interceptions. Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, it's one hand washing the other. The defense wrecks, pressures the other quarterback like they are going to do with little Tua, okay? Yeah. Tua's little. I think he's like barely 6 foot or 6'1", you know? He even said he can't see over the offensive lineman, okay? Yeah. And then the defense will give it back to Josh Allen.
Who will score touchdowns.
Exactly. Yeah. If the Ravens scored 38 points on them, just imagine what Josh Allen will do. I do think that game's going to be a little bit closer.
Yeah,
it's not going to be the traditional... yes.
That's why.
Here, I'll leave you with this on the Bills. The Bills have won 7 straight against the Dolphins by an average of 19 points.
Right.
Okay? So, I'm sorry, Charger fans, and this hurts me to say this, or the other 31 fans. I don't want to quite hand over the Super Bowl title to the Bills, but damn it, if they don't look like the lead horse right now, if they don't have injuries and they're playing the way they are right now, wow. They meet Brady and the Bucks in the Super Bowl, right? Because the
there you go.
Yeah, you know, I mean, why didn't I put the Packers in the top 10?
B&B, there you go.
Because they beat the Bears. They own the Bears. Am I supposed to be impressed that someone you beat up all the time, you beat up again? You know? And there's some other ones that I could have maybe put in the top 10. But that is my top 10. And Chargers, just murder the Jaguars, okay? Put them in their place. They're traveling from East Coast to West Coast.
Jet lag.
hopefully some type of jet lag or something. So you win. Yeah, exactly. California's better than Florida anyways. It's definitely better than Texas. So, bring it. Do you have any last words to say?
No.
All right. Till next time.